Hello, beautiful. So welcome back. It is so wonderful to be seen by your light today. So I wanted to talk about toxic productivity. This is something that I've experienced most of my life, and I feel like it's ingrained in some of our societies to actually work until we're burnt out, work until we feel sick, really not able to rest until things are done, feeling as though rest is not productive, feeling as though taking care of ourselves and doing self-care is not productive. And we know this, right? We know that all of this is really important. It's important for us to take care of ourselves. It's important for us to rest. It's a part of the integration process. So why is it that we still hold this idea of productivity to be something that isn't integration, that isn't embodiment, that isn't just being? Because as divine beings that we are, that is all we're meant to do, is really be present with everything that arises. And thinking that we constantly need to be doing things or serving others is a form of toxic productivity. And something that I uncovered within my life and within my own healing is seeing that this dated all the way back to when I was a child. It was a lot of the interactions and the reactions that I would receive towards resting before I did any school, before any chores. There were always rules to what I had to do before I could rest, or before I could play, before I could do anything. And you think, like, as parents, and we don't blame our parents or any of our guardians or whoever kind of really shared with us these rules or these ideas, right? But overall, what was happening within me when I was just receiving those was seeing that as I was growing up, I felt like I could not play or rest until something was done, until I helped someone else, until I helped my parents, until they were completely good. It went on to the point that, like, nowadays it's like there's always something to do, right? When you become an adult, you have more responsibilities, and there's literally always something to do. Always something that can be done. So with that in mind, with that belief of this is how I can survive, this is the only way that I'm able to receive love and to play and to get what I need to take care of myself, then this is where we're seeing that toxicity that begins to build up within our system, and that shame and that guilt that comes up when we actually don't do those things that make us feel productive. We actually rest and we integrate. I'm actually in an Airbnb taking a couple days to rest and recharge and just kind of reset my energy. And you guys probably have already seen that vlog. If you haven't already, please do go check it out. But overall, being here and allowing myself to rest and not feel like I need to do anything specific. Of course, I'm sharing this video with you guys, but this is really like talk therapy for me. And I'm also a channel, so a lot of information and words that I need to hear come out when I actually turn on the camera and speak to you guys. So I'm really happy that you're here. I'm thankful that you're listening. And overall, seeing this belief show up in our life will cause that guilt and that shame that feels terrible, right? When we don't get everything done that we needed to get done, when we don't help someone, or we feel like I need this for myself, I know this is important, so I'm gonna go do this. And then there's that other part of us that's like, no, you can't, because you haven't done this, you haven't done enough. Like, nothing is ever enough. This toxic productivity is this idea that nothing is ever enough. We are human beings, not human doings. So to avoid burning out, getting sick, creating dis-ease in the body, we have to start looking inward and start healing that guilt and that shame that we feel, and start exploring with the people that are around us as well. If you're used to serving others or helping others and doing a lot around wherever you're at, or your family, whatever it may be, start practicing creating those boundaries for yourself. And a question that is really powerful to ask yourself is, what is it costing you not taking time for yourself throughout the day? What is it costing you not taking a break, right? Is it costing you your health? Is it costing you actually being able to show up authentically and fully and healthily for others and for yourself? Is it costing you, not having the energy to do what you need to do? So really noticing, like, what is this toxic productivity costing me? What is me not resting costing me? What is me being go, go, go actually costing me? And this also really comes up when we tune into what is, energetically and physically and on all levels mentally going on within the collective and within the world, right? There's a lot shifting, a lot moving. So we may feel like we constantly need to be we need to be showing up and doing all of these things. But if you are a leader, if you're a person of service in any way, this is not service by just feeling like you always have to go, 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 go. And there is a belief back there saying that maybe you can only belong if you actually do, A, B, and C. Maybe this is how you receive. Maybe this is so that you won't feel a certain way. You won't actually go into a feeling that maybe needs to come up and needs to be transmuted. So really tuning inward and seeing where that is coming from. Because you allowing yourself to share when it feels right, when it feels authentic to you, being of service and helping others, helping your family, when you do feel whole, remembering that you being whole is going to be more of service to others, not you constantly doing and doing and doing. So tuning into where inside of ourselves, this shadow, this ego, is it ego? Is it a shadow? Is it a belief? Is it our inner child? Where are we holding this, and how can we support ourselves and begin actually taking aligned action to create space and create boundaries and create a practice around really allowing this productivity to be a part of the flow of life within us. So that involves rest, that involves aligned action, that involves structure, that involves flexibility. So really creating this for ourselves is going to be so helpful. And I keep saying practice because it is a practice. For me personally, this has been a practice for a very long time. I still sometimes experience, especially when it comes to my family, and having things going on and wanting to help them as much as I can because I love so much. And then when I take the time to actually go out and do things like this, then I tend to feel a little twinge in my chest of guilt, of shame, thinking that I need to be there or else something bad is going to happen, or I need to be there or else I'm not going to be loved or belong, or they're going to judge me in any way. And from my experience, that's never the case. When you start to set those boundaries and really set them with yourself first, write them down, journal it, say it aloud, practice saying it aloud, those boundaries, and just this permission that we feel like we need from other people, you can give it to yourself. You can just journal it, you can write it, you can place your hands on your body in some place, your heart, and give yourself permission to actually go out and take time for yourself, to rest, to take hours, days off if you need to, without feeling like you need to share, you need to show up, you need to do things for other people. Or else what would happen? What is that or else? What is that? And me trying to figure out what that was, I found out it was really just because this is how I thought I would be accepted, I could be loved, was by actually doing things. And the reaction, like I said earlier, towards me not doing things wasn't positive. So why would I want a negative response? Why would I seek that out? But that's where we get to shift the story. I'm not seeking a negative response. I'm not avoiding a negative response. I am creating a new story where my rest and my integration is important, and it will be respected by others. But first, it needs to be respected by myself. It needs to be respected by you. Your boundaries need to be respected by you by actually setting them and practicing holding those boundaries nice and strong for yourself. So check in with your relationship with your boundaries. What are they? Do you have any when it comes to work, when it comes to your service, when it comes to your leadership, when it comes to your family, when it comes to your partner, when it comes to your friends? What boundaries do you hold, and what is your relationship with them? Are you upholding these boundaries? And then really tuning also into your core values. So when I think of core values, I really think of our why. Who am I? WIA, who am I? What is true within ourselves? You can even see this as your inner waters. So the truth within you, this flow of a life force energy within you. What is that made up of? Maybe even your higher self. What are the qualities of your higher self? I feel like the core values encompass all of these. And a lot of the time, we all have very similar core values. It could be, loving kindness, compassion, integrity and authenticity, non-judgment, all sorts of things. So really tuning into what your core values are. And then as you look at your boundaries, look at your core values, begin to see where there may be some discrepancies, right? Where there may be some misalignment, where we may be veering off a little bit with our boundaries according to our core values. And remembering that sometimes when we set boundaries, we can see it as a negative. So tuning into where you are creating healthy boundaries and where you may be creating unhealthy boundaries. And these boundaries, to be healthy, come from a space of love. Boundaries always come from a space of love. And at first, when we're unaware, or maybe we're creating boundaries from a place of trying to protect ourselves from a fearful state, those are more unhealthy boundaries when they are from a place of fear, okay? Trying to resist something. We can protect ourselves from a place of love by setting those boundaries. However, the whole purpose of this expansion is an opening of the heart. An open heart is a strong, supported, powerful heart, okay? This is the biggest center that we have within our whole entire energetic field. And it is deeply, deeply, deeply affected by the things that we do for ourselves and the way we interact with others. So the more open-hearted we can be, the more we actually get to know ourselves and can hold really strong boundaries and feel even more protected. So this is an idea that really I've been dropping into so much more the more that I allow myself to open my heart with the help of so many different mentors and coaches and plants and medicines and really just the earth in general. Is just seeing that like this is the big picture, is us being open-hearted once again, because we have so many layers, we have so many barriers here, and they were created to protect us, yes, from a place of love at some points, but also from fear. So really checking in like what those are. What are these boundaries? Are you upholding them? Are they in alignment with your core values? And are they from a space of love and not necessarily just fear? Okay, so we want to create those from love, and then it makes so much more sense and it feels so much more aligned to our soul to actually uphold those boundaries. So checking in with that is going to be really helpful when allowing ourselves the practice of rest, the practice of allowing rest to be productive, reframing the ideas and the stories and beliefs that we have around productivity, that we have around service, right? We are not here to hold everything and everything needs to be on our shoulders. Like, how are we supposed to serve from that place? How are we supposed to assist others and heal from this place of holding so strongly all of the pain and all of the pressure on our bodies when just going, right? Eventually we create dis-ease, this energy that is shaky because there are no boundaries, begins to really drop into the body and create a form of dis-ease within the body. So this is huge, okay? So you not resting, integrating, allowing yourself to take the time that you need and to take just even deep belly breaths a few times a day is costing you a lot. It's really costing you a lot. So really tune into how you can show up authentically. And does that mean you need more rest? Does that actually mean that you need to go do a bunch of things? Where are you seeing that you are not worthy without this productivity, without this feeling of productivity, of achievement, of doingness? How can we shift this relationship that we have with doing, with being, knowing that we may have programs, whether it be from our communities, societies, things that we may have watched, people that we've interacted with, experiences that we may have had, or even picking them up from childhood. We can address that, okay, this came from somewhere. For not all of us need to go all the way to the deep end to really find where this is, but it can help. It definitely can help to see that. And as we continue to practice this form of soothing ourselves and giving ourselves love and compassion, when we do rest, when we do feel shame or guilt around resting and taking care of ourselves, more will be revealed. More will be revealed. We'll remember a bit more and begin to recognize what we actually need. Because the more that we become aware of what we've experienced and knowing what we've experienced, I mean, we know ourselves better than anyone else. You know yourself better than anyone else. You know what you've experienced. The more that is revealed to you, the more information you have to know exactly how to meet your needs, how to take care of yourself, what techniques or what approaches you can take for yourself that are going to help you. Because all of us, we all do this differently, right? We all do this differently. But the one thing that I really, really encourage you to do the next time you feel any guilt or shame, or you feel like you need to constantly go, and there's a moment where maybe you have that thought, maybe your intuition, your body's telling you like, take a break. I really invite you to just take 3 deep breaths into your belly. Really strong, big, long, deep breaths. Maybe even close your eyes and really tune into what you need in that moment. Really tune into what you're feeling. Know that this is a part of a program. If you're feeling that shame or guilt, come up and just listen to yourself. Listen to what you need, not necessarily what the mind is used to spitting out at you. Okay? So I hope this helped you in some way to really begin unpacking and unlearning toxic productivity and allowing yourself the space to create more rest in your life, because it is possible to live in a state of peace, to live in a state of restfulness, to be whole and to feel energized. And this just involves you creating that balance for yourself and understanding where this comes from, understanding what you need, and understanding that it's going to be a practice in soothing and giving yourself the compassion you need to allow this form of rest to really drop into your life in a powerful way. All right, so I love you all so much. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions, if you want me to dive even deeper into some more things that can be really helpful. This is definitely something that has been in my life for a really, really long time. So I would love to chat more about it if this is something that you guys feel like you need. And yeah, just honor yourselves. I honor you for just being here and watching this video and being curious about how to let this go, how to surrender to what is real for you, and how to listen more to your being instead of all the stories and beliefs that you don't need. All right, I send you so much love. I'll see you all in another video.